The Soviet gulags were a network of forced labor camps that existed in the Soviet Union from the 1930s until the 1950s. These camps were part of the Soviet regime's strategy to control and suppress perceived enemies, dissidents, and those deemed undesirable. The gulags were notorious for their harsh conditions, brutal treatment of prisoners, and the large number of deaths that occurred within their walls. The origins of the Soviet gulags can be traced back to the early days of the Soviet Union. Under the leadership of Joseph Stalin, the Soviet regime embarked on a campaign to eliminate any potential opposition and solidify their control over the country. The Gulag system was specifically designed to silence dissenters and instill fear in the population, creating a climate of conformity and obedience. The Soviet Union's vast territory provided ample space for the construction of numerous labor camps. These camps were scattered across Siberia and other remote areas, away from prying eyes and potential uprisings. The remote locations also made escape nearly impossible, as prisoners faced the harsh conditions of the wilderness, extreme weather, and long distances to any form of civilization. The prisoners in the gulags came from a wide range of backgrounds, including political opponents, intellectuals, artists, and ordinary citizens who had fallen into favor with the regime. Once inside the camps, these individuals were subjected to grueling physical labor, often in harsh weather conditions, with insufficient food, clothing, and medical care. Malnutrition and disease were rampant, further contributing to the high mortality rates. The tactics used within the gulags were meant to break the spirit and will of the prisoners. Physical and psychological torture, beatings, and executions were common occurrences. The prisoners lived in constant fear of reprisal and were subjected to frequent interrogations, leading to false confessions and denunciations of others. The Soviet regime used fear and suspicion as tools to maintain control and root out any potential opposition. The gulags began to decline in the 1950s with the death of Stalin and the subsequent political changes within the Soviet Union. The human toll of the gulags was immense, with millions of people suffering and dying within their confines. The accounts of survivors shed light on the horrors that transpired, but many stories remain untold, lost to the depths of the labor camp system.